Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I am Christy.
And I'm Charla, and today we are sharing skillet meals.
Woo!
Freezer to skillet meals.
They're so quick.
So fast. These are for you if you have the kind of life where you get home from work and you have like half an hour before you've got to run your kids to soccer.
Totally.
Or your kids get home from school and you're only going to have like this much time before there's guitar lessons.
Absolutely.
Or if you have your own life, not just your kids have lives, right? And you have to get to your soccer game or your hockey game or your whatever, or you're going out with friends or whatever it is you're doing. This is for you if you have like a short window of time.
There are times where you need to eat and get out. And what's also nice about most of these is that you can actually thaw them fairly quickly too.
When they're thin bags.
When they're a thin bag, if you're able to leave them out, you're not really supposed to do that. You're supposed to do it in the fridge. Some people leave them out, take them out in the morning so that they're thawed and ready to go on the counter when you get home from work or when you're ready to cook it. If you have forgotten, you can put it in a sink of lukewarm room temperature water, 20 minutes, and it will be thawed. Totally. Some of these are thin enough that they'll be totally thawed, but because they're thin, doesn't mean that they're not filling and that there's anything lacking. Trust me.
Totally.
These are full meals and they are delish.
And a lot of the meals that we're sharing today are like complete. Like everything that you need. Now, some of them you're going to want to make rice on the side, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But these are great. These are going to help you to have an easier life.
Yes, and I would say some of these, we do them often, partly because they're fast, but partly because they are so good that they would easily be in our top 10 that we do all the time.
Yeah, some of the ones we're sharing today are definitely favorites for us. And we want to hear what are your favorites. So let us know in the comments below what recipes you've made of ours that you love.
Or what recipes do you have to share that you make all the time? What is fast, what is delicious, and what gets you out the door without stopping at the drive-thru or hitting that little app on your phone. Because this is cheaper, you know what's in them, and those things are easy and there's a time and a place for them, but people rely on it a lot. And if you can get away from that, you will be glad that you did, in my opinion.
You're going to be healthier, save a ton of money just by making these freezer meals ahead and not having to do the convenience food stuff.
Totally. Well, let's get started.
This first one is Southern style ground beef casserole. You're going to take your ground beef that you've prepped ahead, so it's already browned. You're going to add that in your bag with some onion, chopped green pepper, a can of kernel corn that's been drained, tomato sauce, Worcestershire sauce, chili powder, salt, and pepper. If you want, you can also add some shredded cheddar cheese or Tex-Mex cheese into a medium-sized bag and staple that onto your large bag so that the day that you're cooking this, you can put it in the skillet, heat it up. When it's pretty much done, you just top it with the cheese, allow that to melt, and everything here is ready. This is a full meal. I usually make mine with veggie beef and Christy makes hers with regular ground beef. So you can vegetarianize this. I just made that word up, but.
And similar to the soups, we have a soup video that you will enjoy as well. I often make this with rice.
Yes, you can totally add rice to this one or serve it on the side.
And not that I'm eating soup with rice. I'm saying in our soup video, I do talk about often wanting to have a little bit of a carb to go with it, like a biscuit or some bread. And I mean like a baking powder biscuit, not cookies.
Yeah.
For those that would call a biscuit a cookie. We have some international viewers,
This is also one that you can do in the slow cooker if you'd rather just be able to forget about it while you're gone, come home and have dinner totally ready.
15 minutes in a skillet or in the slow cooker is great. The tortellini sausage skillet was an invention by our very own Mrs. Charla Kostelik. You're going to start out with your Italian sausage that's been shaped into meatballs and browned. You're going to put in green pepper, yellow pepper, and red pepper, and so it's very colorful and beautiful to look at. We add a cup of mushrooms, but you know what? We always add a little bit more than a cup of mushrooms. We are very good mushroom eaters at this house and at Charla's house. We add in our diced onion, a jar of pasta sauce. Any kind of pasta sauce you like is fine. And then we're gonna add in the cheese tortellini. A lot of times we make things right in the bag, but in this case, it is actually a really full meal. So I make it in the big bowl so that I can mix it all around and coat everything evenly. The cheese tortellini, we buy the big ones from Costco. You can get them at your regular grocery store. You can get them frozen, but we do like the Costco ones. They're the right size for our family. For the day of cooking, all you're gonna need to do is add a quarter cup of water and get it into your skillet once it's been thawed, and really just reheat through, because everything in here, you just want to take the edge off your onion so that it's cooked, so it's a little bit tender, and your pasta will cook right in your skillet.
That's a super hearty one.
It is. I do not need an extra slice of bread for this guy. But you know what? Some garlic toast will go really well with it.
Whenever someone says that freezer meals cannot be healthy, I think of ones like this. Granted, this is just the filling, and you're gonna need to add a few things the day that you make this, but still, this is such a healthy freezer meal and tastes like restaurant food at home. This is the Thai chili chicken lettuce wraps. We are adding some cooked ground chicken in our bag, garlic, onion, cashews, some matchstick carrots, red pepper that's been diced, some fish sauce and soy sauce. You take the air out of your bag before you seal it, because when you're freezer cooking, air is what causes that freezer burn, and we like to stay away from freezer burn. You're also going to make your sauce ahead. So in a medium-sized bag, you're going to put some Thai sweet chili sauce, some lime juice, sesame seeds, and you're just gonna put that in a medium bag, and you're gonna staple those two bags together so they stay together in your freezer and you have everything you need on the day of cooking. You staple them above the seal so you don't make holes in either of the bags. On the day that you cook this, you heat it up in the skillet. It cooks up so fast because your chicken is already cooked up. And then you are going to take some lettuce leaves and steam fried noodles. If you want, you can also do some fresh cilantro. And you're gonna put the filling in the lettuce leaves, top it with the steam fried noodles for that crunch. You're not even gonna cook those noodles, so there's like no extra prep or anything to do. And then of course, you're gonna top your lettuce leaves with that delicious sauce that you made, and you have this restaurant food at home.
Speaking of restaurant food at home, the Mongolian beef is lovely. You will be so pleased with how flavorful this is, how filling it is, and how fast it is. You start out with your package of beef strips in your bag. You're gonna add ginger. We like the squeezy tube ginger here rather than the powdered ginger, ground ginger. We're gonna add a lot of garlic, some soy sauce, a little bit of water, brown sugar, more carrots cut into matchsticks, so it would actually be a nice one to pair with the Thai chili chicken lettuce wraps, because you also need matchstick carrots for that one. And then some green onions. On the day of cooking, you're going to get this into your skillet, and you're gonna mix a little bit of cornstarch in with some cold water. Once it gets hot, you can add the cornstarch and water mixture in, and it will thicken it a little bit. And you just give it another 5 more minutes, let that cornstarch cook through, and you can serve this over rice, or maybe noodles if you wanted, and sprinkle with some more sliced green onions.
If you haven't already heard about the Freezer Meals 101 Club,
I don't know anything about it, Charlotte. Why don't you tell me?
So the club is something that we created to take the guesswork out of freezer meals for you. We've done all of the legwork as far as you can easily print off your shopping lists and just have everything that you need, your prep list, and everything's ready. You can choose from the meals that we have that are, done in our test kitchen, right
here in the test kitchen.
But
do you know what? There's almost 200 recipes in there. We are getting very close.
There's over 200.
Is there 200 now?
Yeah.
Good job.
And you can click by cooking method. And so you can click the little skillet button and then all the skillet meals will populate. So if this describes you, like if you're the person that has a very short window between when you get home and when you have to have supper on the table, just go in there and click the little skillet thing.
And bam, you will see all of the skillet recipes. You can pick through and decide what you like. You can add them to a meal plan and you can call it skillet recipes if you want. Or you could call it whatever you want.
You can name it.
You could call it Wednesday nights because maybe Wednesdays is your hectic day that you got to get out the door really fast.
Totally.
You can name it whatever you want. It's going to spit out a shopping list and a prep list. And then you just do the prep and you do the shopping and you make the meals. And then Wednesday nights will never look better.
No, dinner is done. You don't have to think about it again.
And everybody else is going to be showing up at the thing that you're going to with their takeout beside them, and they're going to be eating their hamburgers in the car as they're pulling into the parking lot. And you'll have eaten already a healthy, delicious, fairly economical meal that you cooked yourself because you planned ahead a little bit. So today you will be so thankful for past you.
Yes.
Because Wednesdays just got a whole lot easier and a whole lot more pleasant.
So we're going to put a link for the club down below and you can check that out. And then we're going to share some more recipes with you now. And I get to share the egg roll in a bowl, which everyone loves it. Like
everyone loves it.
In our Freezer Meals Facebook page or group, which the link for that is down below as well.
Oh, check us out. It is the nicest place on Facebook.
People make this a lot.
Yes.
And they share how much they enjoy it. It's really, you'll see how fast it is to put together. And then the day of, it cooks up really fast.
It's so fast and it's so delicious.
It took us a while to perfect this recipe. But now that we've gotten it to where we want it, it's delicious.
And people ask all the time, can you freeze cabbage? Why, yes you can. And
you sure can.
This is a great example of a frozen cabbage freezer meal. So let's get to it.
Okay, so to make this egg roll in a bowl, we are putting our ground Italian sausage that's been browned in a freezer bag. You can also do ground pork if you prefer. And when it comes to Italian sausage, you can either do spicy or mild. Christy's family prefers mild, so we do hers with the mild sausage, and our family likes spicy, so ours is done with the spicy Italian sausage. We're gonna do diced onion, garlic, some shredded carrots or carrots in matchsticks works as well, some onion powder, red pepper flakes, ginger, and here you're going to add some low sodium soy sauce. And this is what I was talking about when I said it took us a while to perfect this recipe. This recipe was good, but way too salty when we first started making it. So we adjusted the amount of soy sauce at first. It was still too salty. We've switched to the low sodium soy sauce, and we've also adjusted the amount, and we've found the sweet spot. So you're gonna wanna really use the low sodium soy sauce here. Then 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then you're gonna add in a bag of the coleslaw mix. So the cabbage is already shredded for you, easy peasy. Gonna give that a shake, take out all of the air, seal it again, and throw that in your freezer on the day that you cook this. You're just gonna cook it seriously 5 to 10 minutes in your skillet, and dinner is done. If you want, you can put on some, sliced green onion or whatever just to fancy it up, but really, here's your dinner and egg roll in a bowl.
Charlotte, you're going to be shocked to know that I also cook this with a little bit of rice.
I am not shocked because Christy is always trying to add starch.
I am always trying to add those. I need those carbs. We eat those carbs at our house, and it's okay. And that way you can take as much or as little as you want. But to me, I mean, if it was in its little packet as an actual egg roll, I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah, I like to add put this on a little bit of rice. It's really tasty.
I think this one
it's a smaller one. It's a nice lunch.
Yeah, it's true. It is. It's not for we have a very large family. We've got, 7 kids. So it is not like an our size family recipe. Mm-hmm. It's more like a lunch, or I take out 2 of the bags and make it for all of us for dinner.
Yeah.
If I did do it with rice, I could stretch it a little further.
And that's kind of why we do it, because it's part of it is for stretching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it as a low carb or keto meal, then skip the rice.
Absolutely.
And maybe double it so you make more.
The Make Ahead Beef Fajitas freezer meal recipe is great. You might know that recently Charlotte and I did a video just on meals that use beef strips. We found a deal. There was a 2-for-1 deal. So boy, did we get together and make some beef strip meals, and this was featured in it, but we have it again here because this is the skillet meal session. You're gonna start out with your beef stir-fry strips, onion, and red and yellow peppers, all sliced so that, they look really good in the fajita when they're laying there. A cup of salsa, a little bit of lime juice, and Worcestershire sauce. On the day of cooking, you're going to defrost or let it thaw. You're going to cook it in your skillet, and it really won't take long. If your beef strips are thin, you really just want to get tender, crisp vegetables and serve it in your tortillas. You can serve it with sour cream, salsa, shredded cheese, cilantro, or guacamole, or any and above of those things. You can add jalapenos or hot sauce if that is your jam. And these are pretty versatile, and they are really delicious. I don't have to add rice because there's a tortilla. But you could.
That'd make it more burrito-like, but
nothing wrong with that. The ground beef stroganoff is really our #1 favorite meal. We do it all the time. We do it in our big mega sessions. We do it kind of in between mega sessions. It's always delicious. You can feed a little or a lot with it because you can stretch it with however much pasta that you want to make it with. And it's just egg noodles. It's so simple. And we do this one a lot. We start out with your ground beef that's already been browned. Add some chopped onion, minced garlic, and we add our mushrooms, Worcestershire sauce, cream of mushroom soup, sour cream, a little bit of parsley. And I mean a little bit of parsley, but it is so funny how that adds so much to it, and a little bit of pepper. On the day of serving, you're going to let this thaw. You're going to just whip it up really quick in your skillet. And once it's good and bubbly, you want to give it another good blob of additional sour cream, just to give it that little bit of extra richness and creaminess. Like I said before, we make it on our egg noodles, and sometimes you can even do this in the slow cooker if you know that you're going to be out of the house and you have to have it ready for ahead of time. And we've made this for our family of 4, but we've also had another entire family come over and still managed to feed everybody. It's kind of a funny one. It can go a long way. Boy, do we like this one a lot. And so far my kids have never gotten sick of it. And I mean, we make it a lot. And there you have it. There are some skillet meals for you to get into your repertoire.
We hope this makes those super busy weeknights a lot easier for you. I know that this makes life a lot easier for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, isn't it funny that there were some here that we could say, oh, you could put this in your slow cooker, but you could also put it in your skillet. And it's really funny how that works.
And it's nice to have that option too for those few, because you have those days where it's more like you're not going to be home at all.
Right.
You're just going to be home in time to eat.
Right. Or you're home at noon to walk your dog, and then you can, throw it in the slow cooker. It's ready to go when you get home the next time, and you are halfway out the door before you're all the way in. We have all had those days.
Yeah, you're kind of gonna have one of those days.
I have one of those days today because, well, there's volleyball going on at our house, and there's tournaments and there's practice, and I'm doing a pickup from school, which normally the kids are on the bus, but today there's a pickup, so there is a lot going on.
One of your kids is having friends over. It's chaotic.
So something like the ground beef stroganoff, I should just go home and put this one right into the slow cooker, and then I'm done. I'm ready to go. If you're new here with us, we are so glad to have you here. Click subscribe, click like, have a look through. Down below, we have some links. We have the link to the Freezer Meal 101 Club that we talked about. We have a Facebook group that is really terrific. And
they're so sweet.
It's very sweet in there. There is a lot of veterans in there that have a lot of freezer meal knowledge. This is nothing new that we're doing. People have been doing freezer meals as long as there's been freezers. But, it's kind of a learning curve. If you're just dipping your toe into it, you start out by doubling your meals and getting them in the freezer. And then you work your way up sometimes to be like Charla and I, where we have the massive mega meal sessions where we do 3 months worth at a time. We can put a video right there and show you one of our mega meal sessions. Check out the links below. Leave us a comment. Let us know some of your favorite Skillet meals, because we want to know.
Because maybe we'll give them a try and add to our repertoire, because we always love trying new recipes.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us today, and happy cooking.